So I think, yes, I think we will see the administration go after Letitia James if there are legitimate charges.
A few moments later.
And we have breaking news. Federal prosecutors have issued subpoenas to New York Attorney General Letitia James. Sources tell ABC News the subpoenas are related to her office's civil fraud case against President Trump and a corruption case against the National Rifle Association.
And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton. Just a little flick of the finger for you. Or if you're on the TV, a little remote control button press. And it helps the channel out tremendously. And of course, because it helps us, it helps you. Now, y'all, your girl, Letitia James, she is under investigation. She is under subpoena. She is about to be indicted, most likely. And these are criminal charges, y'all. We're not talking about civil charges. You may remember previously Pam Bondi said that she was going after Letitia James and she was going after Kathy Hochul of New York. But that was a civil case. This is a criminal investigation, and it could very well result in your girl being locked up. Now, y'all may remember, okay? Y'all may remember a lot of people were getting real antsy. They were saying, hey, what about that Letitia James investigation? They were talking about the potential mortgage insurance fraud investigation. They were like, hey, what happened? What's going on? It's been weeks. It's been months. And I made a video saying, y'all, you know what? I think something's coming for Letitia James. She went after Trump. She looks like she has some dirt in her past. You know, I don't know, but it looks like it. And I would be very surprised if he does not go after her as well, if there's something real there, right? So now we see that the Trump administration, I think this is the opening salvo. I think this is the first of what may be a wave of different moves that they'll take against Letitia James. So y'all, let's jump into it. Let's get all the details of your girl being under the microscope and facing criminal charges for her actions. Let's take a look. But before we do, y'all, make sure you take care of your money. I'm not gonna make this a long one, y'all. Go to Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com, or call 844-651-8334, 844-651-8334. If you have $50,000 to $100,000 or more in your retirement, protected from inflation, protected from monetary debasement, you're about to retire. Make sure your money's still there and it's still worth something by investing at least some of it in gold. Talk to our partners at Augusta Precious Metals. Go click the link now, get the free information, and protect your precious retirement.
Some breaking news sources are telling us that New York Attorney General Letitia James and her office are under investigation by the Department of Justice in relation to her case against President Trump. Justice correspondent David Spunt is in Washington. What do you know, David?
Well, hi, Dana. Two well-placed sources familiar with the probe tell Fox News that New York Attorney General Letitia James and her office is under investigation by the DOJ here in Washington. We're told that Attorney General Pam Bondi signed off on the probe. Subpoenas were sent to James's office, and there is a grand jury investigation underway in the New York State capital of Albany. The specific investigation, my colleague Jake Gibson, Ashley Oliver, and myself are being told involves deprivation of rights, which in plain language means someone in a position of legal authority violating someone else's constitutional or legal rights. Those sources tell Fox News the DOJ is going after James because she took then former President Donald Trump to court, quote, simply because she didn't like him and campaigned on getting him. DOJ, led by Bondi, believes she violated his First Amendment rights dealing with free speech. James has said before she believed Trump inflated his net worth to get good deals on loans from lenders and other financial benefits.
Here it says Letitia James, New York's Attorney General and longtime nemesis of the president, is being investigated in two separate inquiries in a remarkable use of executive power to pursue a foe. So everybody is going to... This is, you know, listen, is this fair? Is this fair? Life is not fair, right? So we don't expect life to be fair. But if we're going to be fair, which I get it, life isn't fair. But if we were going to be fair, wouldn't we say that she went after Donald Trump first with an unusual use of her power? And now he maybe is returning the favor. We have to be honest. But maybe the way she did it maybe the way she went after him was not totally above board. But now maybe he's returning the favor. The Justice Department this week abruptly escalated its pressure campaign on Letitia James, New York's Attorney General and one of President Trump's longtime adversaries, opening a civil rights investigation into her office and appointing a special prosecutor to scrutinize her real estate dealings. Pause. Didn't I tell y'all? People were like, hey, what happened to the Letitia James case? I said, I'm going on record. This is several weeks ago, maybe even months at this point. I said, I'm going on record amid all of this other stuff that's going down. I said, I think it's still going forward. Right? So check my receipts. Taken together, the developments concerning Ms. James mark a stark escalation of Mr. Trump's retribution campaign against one of his foremost nemesis and a remarkable use of the Justice Department to pursue a foe. Is this an editorial? This must be an editorial because they're mind reading over here, right? They're mind reading. They're saying that this is get back. I mean, that get back and retribution. Get back and retribution are motives, right? And so unless Donald Trump has actually said that his motive is to get her back, why are they reading his mind? The civil rights investigation, which had not previously been reported, is examining whether Ms. James's office violated Mr. Trump's civil rights in its successful fraud suit against him, according to 3 people with knowledge of the matter. The acting U.S. attorney in Albany sent Ms. James's office 2 subpoenas. So she is subpoenaed, one of which was related to the civil fraud case, which led to Mr. Trump being penalized more than $500 million, including interest. The second subpoena is related to the office's long-running case against the NRA, National Rifle Association, the people said.
Ms. James won in a court judgment of over $450 million against the Trump organization. Trump is appealing and it's pending. The entire scope of the grand jury probe in Albany, Dana, is unclear. Grand juries are secretive, but we've learned from these well-placed sources it stems from a recent strike force set up inside the Justice Department to investigate an alleged plot to tie Trump to Russia in 2016. Sources say that strike force has expanded to other topics. Now, to recap, the Justice Department has initiated grand jury proceedings in Albany, New York, against the Empire State Attorney General Letitia James. But remember, this is important. A grand jury simply decides if there's enough evidence to indict. To be clear, we are told this is very early in the process, and no one, as I speak to you right now, is facing any charges at this time. Fox News reached out to Attorney General James's office multiple times, but we've yet to hear back.
So, y'all, they're saying that this is retribution. It might be, right? It might be get back. But if you are a major news organization, shouldn't you say seemingly retribution, perceived, purported, possible, instead of just saying, yo, this is retribution? That would require you to read somebody's mind or require them to have said that. And as far as I know, Donald Trump has not come out and said this. So it could very well be, but we would expect news organizations to be more responsible than this. So, y'all, I went on record saying when everybody was like, hey, it's been 3 months, it's been 4 months. What about Letitia James? I went on record saying, look, I think Letitia James, she's not off the hook. And as we can see, yeah, they slow grinding her, y'all. They slow grinding her. Now, what do I want to see happen? I just want to see the facts, I want to see the facts. I don't know for sure that she committed any crimes. With the mortgage fraud stuff, it definitely looks very much like she did. But with these new charges that they're pursuing or investigating, I don't know. So I'd like to know, what do y'all think? Do you think Letitia James will see the inside of a criminal courtroom during Donald Trump's tenure as president? As a defendant, that's the question. Will Letitia James be indicted? She's close to being indicted now, as we can see. Indicted, charged, arrested, booked, fingerprinted, mugshot, put it in jail, and then put on trial. I would like for y'all to let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments down below. But before we do, please stop, hit the share button, y'all. Share this video out over email, text message, WhatsApp, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all of your favorite social mediums. And if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, people. Come on, what are you waiting for? For my people with a retirement, hit my link. Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com. Get like me. I'm already retired and I'm 45. All I do all day is scan the news, make these videos for you, and take my family around to beaches and pools. Wouldn't you like to live this life? Hit Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com. Learn how to live like me. Talk to my people at Augusta Precious Metals at 844-651-8334. Want to thank y'all for watching. Love y'all, and we'll see you back in the next one. Joe Gilbert says, Pam Bondi, why hasn't NYAG Letitia James been charged with mortgage fraud yet? March article provided all the evidence you need. Sam Antar provided more evidence. Arrest her now. All right. Ian Yeager says Letitia James is going to get away with mortgage fraud because Pam Bondi is a weak attorney general. Now, y'all, mind you, I just typed in Letitia James in X, okay? I didn't search in particular for anything that linked Letitia James and Pam Bondi. Let's continue. Another one, American Jose Island Man. Good morning, Letitia James haven't been arrested yet. Fake investigations into Comey, Brennan, and Clapper. People constantly interfering with ICE deportations. Democrats calling for attacks on ICE. Will we ever see any indictments? I am confident saying no. MAGA Voice says, I pray that Pam Bondi doesn't have Letitia James's mortgage fraud allegations on her desk. Now, that's a reference to Pam Bondi, who said that she had the Jeffrey Epstein files on her desk, and she had implied that within those files was evidence about the Epstein list, which would have included the names of people who were clients, and also any kind of information about governmental officials who Epstein may have been blackmailing with such information. So Bondi said she had that information on her desk, and then this was months ago, and then recently, of course, the DOJ came out and said no such information exists, or more or less that's what they said. Finally, Donald Russo says, whatever happened to the criminal referral on Letitia James? After a decade as a general counsel for a large bank, I think I know a little about mortgage fraud. That case against Letitia James is not a complicated one. So people are wondering what is going to go on, what's happening, what's taking Pam Bondi so long? Is she ever going to do anything, or is this just going to be buried and kind of disappear? I mean, there have been a lot of people arrested, y'all. There have been a lot of arrests. There are some prosecutions going forward, but Letitia James has not been arrested. And of course, as far as we know, she hasn't even been indicted. Now, let me say right now, I am certainly not calling for her to be arrested, indicted, etc. I'm reflecting what the people are saying out there. Okay, people are saying she committed mortgage fraud. There does seem to be a lot of evidence, and I want justice to be served. So y'all, let me tell you my opinion. I want you to listen to my opinion, and then I want to start a conversation in the comments down below. So I'm going to go ahead and give the call of the comments now. Talk about this. What do you think is happening? What do you think Pam Bondi is going to do? And I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Y'all, my opinion is this. The difference between Epstein and Letitia James is that Epstein never went after Trump. Epstein, he and Trump may have had a falling out. Apparently they knew each other back in the day, but Epstein never went after Trump publicly and tried to take Trump down like Letitia James has. And so I do think that if there is any possible way to get a legitimate, credible indictment on Letitia James, I believe that is going to happen. And I believe that if there's any way to have her on trial, to have her in a situation where she has to decide between a plea deal or taking it to trial, where she has to be looking at how much time could I possibly get, getting her defense together. If there's any way that can happen with legitimate charges, not some bogus stuff, but some legitimate charges, might be these mortgage or insurance fraud or what have you, I think they go forward. And I'm going to tell you why. One, Letitia James went after Trump over mortgage related charges, right? So it would make sense that if she has some of that in her own past, that the Trump administration would go after her if they're legitimate charges. I have to keep underscoring that. But two, I think that all of this ruckus that the Epstein situation has caused, I definitely think the administration knows about it. I definitely think they're cognizant of it. And frankly, and I'm not saying I agree with this, but I do know that this is the way things work. What better way? What better way to placate the people? What better way to get people to satisfy the people who think nothing's ever done than to go after one of Trump's biggest ops, which is Letitia James. So I can see it from a standpoint of, hey, you got me on this, I'm gonna get you on that if you did the same thing, right? Once again, keep wanting to underscore that. But also, hey, let's give the people something, right? And Letitia James is a pretty big fish. So I think, yes, I think we will see the administration go after Letitia James if there are legitimate charges.